Everything you want is on the other side of cringe. Now, this is one I saw the other day. And to be fair, cringe is not a word I ever thought would come out of my mouth. But here we are. It's not really my type of language, but the sentiment is accurate. We have these things in our life where we think to ourselves, well, I could never do that. What would, my family think? What would such and such think? What would the neighbors think? What would the Joneses think? Etc., etc. What would people think? Well, do you want to know the answer? Do you want to know the real answer when it comes to that? Probably nothing at fucking all. They probably won't even notice. We place so much of our thought process on the opinions of others, on the value others' opinions, values and others' opinions of our life. And the honest answer is, it doesn't fucking matter. The way I see it is, if they don't pay you money, if they don't bring value and happiness to your life, and they aren't in your inner circle, aka have your phone number and can text you, their opinion doesn't really matter. Their opinion is not going to impact your life. And especially if we're just talking in, simple things like doing something like chasing greatness. People are going to think you're strange. People are going to think you're weird. People are going to ask questions. Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? What difference does it make if they agree with you? What difference does it make if they can't see why you're undertaking it? What difference does it make? So many people avoid doing things because they wonder what other people will think, or they need permission from someone, or they need, to be anointed worthy to be fit, or to be wealthy, or to be any of those things. You don't need permission from anyone. You don't need to care what other people think of you, unless their opinion actually brings value to your life. And the biggest kicker on this one is, most of the time, people are so oblivious. They're so self-centered and so caught up in their own life. Well, they wouldn't even fucking notice anyway. We think people are paying way more attention to our lives and what we do and the actions we take than they really are. And the classic example I have of this is, I have a friend, and this man has been bald for as long as I have known him. And he's got the tattooed stubble on his head, and it looks fantastic, and the bald suits him. He looks amazing. And he's been bald, as I said, for the entire time, like 10 years I've known him. And within that, one day, he's always been sensitive about it. He's always been a bit insecure about it. I don't know why. I think the bald suits him. Not everyone can pull off the bald look, and he looks fan-fucking-tastic in it. But he was like, I'm going to get a hair transplant. So he started with the one where it's like you like glue it onto your head, right? So one day, he went from bald to having more hair on his head than I have right now. From 0 to 100, full, beautiful, lovely locks of hair. And his friends were like, new haircut? Did you trim your beard? Oh, you dyed your hair. All these kinds of things. And he was like, what the fuck? I was bald yesterday. What do you mean, did you get a haircut? And like even people who'd known him for a really long time. Most people are completely and utterly oblivious to other people's lives. They have no idea. And often, sadly, in situations like this, you discover that even the people that you think know you really well and, potentially love and adore you, don't pay that much attention. Like, how many husbands get in trouble for not noticing their wives' new haircut? Most people are self-indulged and obsessed with their own life and will never, ever notice what other people are doing. So why would you let the opinions of others whose lives don't matter to you, whose opinions don't matter, prevent you from doing something that could potentially, make your life? Could be the greatest decision you've ever made in your entire life. Why would you let a decision like that happen? And the other side of this is, on the other side of cringe, is, when you're undertaking something new, you're going to be bad at it. When you're entering a world where you're going to change your life, if you were already exceptional at this thing, would you have even started? Like, if you were already phenomenal at this, okay, let's just take fitness up. Let's talk bluntly and talk fitness. If you were great at exercise, at nutrition, at all this kind of stuff, do you think you would have delayed putting it off? Do you think you would have avoided doing this? No. You would have loved it. These people love doing shit they're good at. Because you're good at it. It's fun. It's easy. It's effortless. You can get in the flow state. That's what people are good at. They like doing things that they're good at. So on the other side of cringe is, you're going to be shit at this. It's going to hurt. It's going to feel awkward. You're going to feel weird and uncomfortable doing these things. That's okay. Not only is that okay, that's fucking normal and should be the point. And especially if you aren't already exercising, if you haven't been doing anything, and in Chasing Greatness, we're going to take you from 0 to 100, there's a weird kind of blessing in that, because your results are going to be through the fucking roof. We call them newbie gains. That because you haven't done anything, you suddenly go vroom, and get these incredible results. Because your body goes, holy shit, what have you done to me? What's going on? Why are we doing this? And responds accordingly. Because your body doesn't know what to do with it. So it tries to adapt as fast as it humanly can so that it can handle what you're putting it through. That's great. That's what we want. The difficult part actually comes when you're really good. When you've spent, say 18 years lifting weights. And then you're trying to still progress like that. But that's what I'm doing right now. That's why when I use myself as the example of it, I'm like, you can do this as well. Because I have been lifting weights. I have been working out. I have been doing this for 18 years. And I still let myself slip away. I still let myself get fat and disgusted with myself. That's why when I tell you I understand where you've been, I've probably been in a worse situation. I've known everything under the sun. I've done this for a living. Literally my entire adult life has been spent in fitness. And I let myself get fat. I know those feelings. I know those thoughts. I know what you're feeling at 3 a.m. when you're laying there. And you're so ashamed of yourself. And you're so ashamed that another day has passed. And somehow you've ended up back where you said you wouldn't be. You gave in to those thoughts and you ate the food. And you drank the wine or the alcohol or the beer or the whiskey. And you're laying there in bed going, how the fuck did I do this again? And you let those little demons, that resistance, that voice in your head get the better of you. You let it win. And it's devastating. And the only way to overcome it is, well, as we said, on the other side of cringe, is to embrace those cliches, to embrace those stereotypes, and to start becoming a different man. To make one choice after another to being a different man. It's not easy. It's not easy. You are literally, brick by brick, redesigning your life, redesigning your personality, redesigning you into a better man. To battle down those demons, that resistance, that little voice in your head that said, wouldn't it be easier? To make hard choices, to choose uncomfortable, to deliberately and unquestionably and continuously get uncomfortable on purpose, to keep raising the bar so that it is even more uncomfortable because you know that you will plateau out if you don't. To keep pushing forward with that. Yeah. I've been there. And it's uncomfortable as sin. But do you know what's worse? Do you know what's 1,000 times worse than getting uncomfortable? Than attempting to become a different man? Than doing the work that is required so that you can be the greatest version of yourself? What's worse than constantly leveling up so that you can be someone new? That is a man on a unicycle. Do you know what's worse than that? It's waking up and knowing that you have failed your family. It's waking up and knowing that you never reached your potential. Not because you weren't capable, not because the world turned against you, not because the opportunities didn't arise, but because you didn't even try. You didn't even put yourself out there. You didn't attempt it. You didn't do anything. You reached a point, and I'm guessing, I'm just taking a fucking stab in the dark here, probably about 25, where life was okay. Life was decent. It was good enough. And you settled. And you accepted it. And you decided that was enough. And bit by bit by bit, it ate away at your soul. It ate away at who you are in here. It ate away at the man that you know you were destined to be. Not in one big sweeping moment, not in one giant declaration, but in thousands of tiny little insignificant moments. Tiny little moments that felt like nothing. That were just choosing a slightly more comfortable way than a slightly less comfortable way. I was just hitting that snooze button. I was just having one extra drink. I was just ordering a pizza on Friday night. It was just a bit of ice cream. It was just over and over and over again. Until suddenly, one morning you wake up and you look at the man in the mirror and you don't know who's looking back at you. You don't know how you got here. You're not sure of what choices had led you to this point. And you're not even sure how the fuck to get out of it again. Or if you can get out of it. And it's a dark day. It's an incredibly dark day that day. And what's worse is, every morning then you keep waking up and you look at the man in the mirror again. And you think to yourself, who the fuck is this guy? And it just keeps getting worse. And one day you'll hit rock bottom. And I pray to God, the day you hit rock bottom, you bounce. Because if you don't bounce, well, I hate to break it to you, sunshine, but there's more to come. There is further that you can sink. It can get worse. It can. Basically until you die. It can keep getting worse. And it can keep eating away at you, and it can keep tearing you apart. But the greatest news of all is that your reality is a reflection of your choices, your habits, and your actions. You can take back control. It's not going to be an easy path. It's not going to be a straightforward path. And it's not going to happen quickly. But you can take back control of all of it. You can have it all back. You can change your life. Step by step by step. Inch by inch by inch. You can build the life that you want, that you know you are destined for. It's on the other side of cringe. It's on the other side of the work you don't want to do. The magic is on the other side of the work you are avoiding. You know what is required. You know how to get there. You know what it's going to take. You know that it's not going to be easy or simple, or that anyone other than you is going to understand. The world is built on mediocrity. It's built on people just not doing the work, on just accepting good enough, accepting where they are in life, and not doing better. This is the world we live in. But you can change that. You can change your life, and you can start chasing your greatness. You can build discipline through fitness, and you can find out who you are meant to be. You can find out what your greatest potential is, and keep leveling up and keep pushing forward. It's just on the other side of those things that you find uncomfortable. It's just on the other side of all the stuff that you don't really want to do. It's just on the other side of the work that you're avoiding. So the question becomes, my friend, well, are you ready to face that? Are you ready to accept that you will be abnormal? That you are willing to step into being on the 1%? You're willing to say fuck you to mediocrity. You're willing to say, I want to stand apart, that I want to be different, that I'm going to stop avoiding the work. I'm going to stop avoiding feeling uncomfortable. I'm going to stop avoiding doing the things that might feel weird and go against the norm. Because when you make that declaration, when you decide enough is enough, well, that's the day greatness comes. It's the day you begin your journey into the greatest version of you. And then you have to keep making that decision over and over and over again. It's not one big sweeping decision. It's the same as it didn't get you to where you are today in one big sweeping decision. It's 1,000 little decisions made over and over and over again. So if you are ready to step onto the other side of everything that's holding you back, to let go of it and step into your greatness, and click the link in my bio. Join Daily Greatness. Let's begin that journey with that first step, and let's see who you can be on the other side of that. But until then,